These are the top things that I would pack in my birth bag that are not clothing items if I were giving birth tomorrow. My name is Lena Marie Gorski. I'm a birth, postpartum doula, and a childbirth educator. And I'm here today to teach you how to pack your birth bag like a doula. Pain management items are not things that are crazy or that you have to go out and purchase and buy, as well as things that are going to make you feel more comfortable and produce oxytocin. It's not really this big expensive thing that everybody thinks it is. It's actually very simple and it's easier than you would think. We'll talk pain management items first, and then we'll go into the relaxation things. If I was packing my bag and I wanted some pain management items, I would pack a heating pad. Heat is one of the best things when it comes to helping with the pain. And another thing that I would pack, which is kind of something that is a little bit unconventional, but I would get tennis balls and I would put them in a sock. Why would I do this? Well, it's amazing for counter pressure. So counter pressure is just when someone kind of gets their fist and puts it in the small of your back, and while you're having contractions, it can be helpful, especially during back labor. Well, there are times that you're going to need a break and you're going to need to sit down, and maybe your birth partner is going to need a little bit of a break from, putting their fist in your back. So this is a great way for it just to go on the bed, put your back, go back, and have that counter pressure going. It can also be used as a massage tool as well, since it can be rolled. So I feel like that's one of the most effective items. I always have it with me. There are some other ways, like if you don't have a heating pad, you can fill, rice up and you can heat it up. But I feel like that's a little bit harder than just a heating pad. But there is another option if you don't want to bring a heating pad. A TENS unit is something that most people don't have, but is something that is helpful for pain management. I don't know if a lot of hospitals have them. The hospitals that my clients have delivered at, they have not had TENS units. So that's something that you might need to pack on your own. Pain management is not the only important thing when it comes to birth, creating oxytocin, and packing your bag. You also need some things just to help you relax. So one thing I suggest is essential oils. Also an unscented lotion and cotton balls. Why do I suggest these things? Well, birth can be smelly. So I always say bring essential oils, some cotton balls. We can keep them close to you. I actually had a client who we put the essential oil on a paper towel, put the little fan, it was like a little stroller fan, we hooked it on there and we let it blow toward her. It just helps you. It's a calming scent. It's something that keeps your oxytocin flowing. Another thing is you can put a little bit of that essential oil into a lotion that is unscented, and you can get a hand massage, which is good for some reflexology as well. And it is just kind of relaxing to have a hand massage sometimes. So that's another thing that you can do as a relaxation technique. I had a client that brought a sleep mask. You can bring those as well. No shame in the game. I don't know how much sleep you'll be getting if you're not getting an epidural, but you can definitely have that to help with headaches and things like that. Another thing is a music playlist. I tell everybody, have your birth playlist ready to go. It's a very simple thing to do. Some of your favorite music that brings up some really happy memories. I had one client that just wanted her baby to be born to a certain song, and somehow it worked. And it's really hard to predict when the baby's gonna come out, and it worked. So a music playlist is another great way to keep your body calm, cool, and collected. I'm going to circle back now to that little fan, that little stroller fan. It was actually put in the comments of one of my videos, and I love that. The stroller fan is great for when you're pushing, because when you are pushing, you are so hot. Typically, while my client is pushing, I'm putting cold rags on her because your whole body is red and hot. So that stroller fan is a great way. And then sometimes I kind of have to use it, to cool down the lady bits afterwards, because sometimes they're swollen and it just kind of is helpful. But a stroller fan is another thing, but don't forget the charger, because if you forget the charger, then it could die. Hydration is another important thing when it comes to birth. So you always want to have your favorite water bottle, and if you like liquid IV and things like that, nothing carbonated because it's going to be gassy and it's going to cause some pain, but some of your favorite drinks are important. I have had clients that really love liquid IV, and it is helpful as well. So those are really important because in between contractions, you're going to remember to take sips of water and your mouth gets really dry. So sometimes changing it up a little bit from water, and then sometimes the water just kind of sits like concrete after a while. So just remembering those things. And your favorite water bottle, I know having my favorite water bottle is life-changing for me, and I'm not in labor. So sometimes just having your favorite water bottle that you can fill with a lot of ice and water is a helpful thing. Some snacks. I am a very big, most people are not hungry when they're in active labor, but if you are hungry, you should eat. Now, I'm not saying you should eat a cheeseburger. You should have things like a granola bar, or maybe a protein bar, or something that's gonna fill you, give you energy, but not be heavy. Fruit, things like that. So you could also pack some snacks for you in that birth bag as well. Because remember, this is not our postpartum bag. This is what we're going to use during birth. Another very important thing that I think that you should have is your birth binder. What is a birth binder? A birth binder is something that I put together for my clients, and it is separated into 3 different categories. The first one is your birth plan. You should have at least 3 copies of your birth plan, and it should be in that binder. In a little pocket, you should have your informed consent flashcards to remind you of all of the questions that you should ask during birth, some affirmations, things like that. So then we go to our second section of the binder, which is all of your birth information, everything that you've learned, maybe test results, things that you don't want to forget, you put in the birth section of that binder, because that's going to be all of your education and things that you need. The last section is postpartum. So that's your information on the 4th trimester, all of the things that you want to do in the 4th trimester. And you're going to get all of this discharge paperwork that you have to bring to the doctors. It's very good to put all that in there, because if you're like me, you kind of put it in a bag, forget it exists. So this binder is another way to keep everything kind of organized so you don't have to worry about it later on. There are other little care items that you can have as well, like pillows and blankets. It's not really necessary. Some people really like to bring birth affirmation cards as well and set them up, lower lights, things like that. But this is what I think that you should pack in your birth bag to help with pain management. They're things that I would pack if I was going into labor today, and things that I pack for all of my clients when it comes to birth, and things that I always go over with them to pack. If you have any questions, leave them below on this video, and I'll be happy to answer them. If you would like my informed consent flashcards, leave a comment below, and I'll be happy to send them to you, or you can just click on the link in my bio, and you'll be subscribed to my email list, and I'll send them over. Next week, I will be teaching you how to prepare your body and your mind for birth. These are all the things that I teach to my clients, and I hope that I'll see you there.